Hey, what's up? It's Pastor Stephen again. I want to share with you what could be one of the most important things on your journey of faith with Jesus. Once again, we come to these moments. Man, do you know the Bible says that we are to be renewed by the transforming of our mind, or transformed by the renewing of our mind, excuse me. And this goal is this: you lived your whole life, me included, all of us, for one way, for ourselves, and ultimately in all these different things. And God says, I want you to be completely transformed. It is hard to become a completely different person. Some of us have built our whole life. Some of us went to bars. Some of us were in relationships we shouldn't have been in, doing things we shouldn't have been in. Some of us had addictions coming into our relationship with Jesus. Some of us have self-hatred, depression, and we just hate ourselves, all of these different things. We're coming into this relationship with Jesus, and now we're trying to be transformed into who He's called us to be. It can be really hard. How many of you know that? To stop the language that you used to use, to stop watching some of the shows you used to use, stop doing some of the things you used to do. It can be really hard. I imagine it this way. It's like you're in a river and the current of all of our life is pulling you away from God, and God says, come towards me. It's near impossible, right? Every billboard, every commercial, all the people around us, it seems like everybody's pulling us away from God. So what do? Well, this is where it's so important to remind yourself Jesus is not looking for your obedience. He's looking for your heart. He's looking for your surrender. You can't do it, but Jesus through you can. And one of the keys that He helps us so that we can successfully allow Him to help us grow in Him is godly community. I want to give you two quick reasons why you need godly community. Number one is this: change really actually happens in community. I mean, think about it this way. How many of you have ever tried to successfully do a diet? You know, if you try to change your lifestyle, whether it be going to work out or eating healthier, if you've ever done that on your own, honestly, statistically, it's near impossible to change. But if you can do it with somebody else close to you, if you have a friend, a spouse, or somebody else who's actually wanting to make some changes as well, the closer that friendship is, and especially if it's a spouse, man, that's a game changer. It can really help you develop some of those new habits. Why? Because change happens in community. It is so hard on your own. In fact, I know of a professional coach who teaches people, coaches people to higher levels. And you know what he said? He never even tries to develop a new habit on his own, because he just says it's just a waste of time. It is hard for us to change on our own. And God has created it in the Bible where we need each other, where our relationship with one another can actually help us grow in who we are. I want to challenge you and ask you to pray about godly community and your need to be involved in the church and develop these friendships so that you can grow into who God has called you to be. One of the other reasons is that protection actually comes in community. You know, you're actually safer. If you've ever been in an environment where you had fear for your life, it's always different if you're fearful of 5 people, if there's 20 on your side, right? Like, you don't have that same level of fear. Here's the reality. When the devil, the Bible says, is compared to a lion. He says he's a lion seeking around whom he may devour. Here's the reality. There's a devil trying to devour each and every one of us as Christians. Well, coincidentally, we see lions in Africa, and when they go after their prey, you know what they go after? They don't always just go after the weakest prey. They go after the prey, the gazelle, that gets separated from the pack. So if there's 30 over here, and one of them they can get separated over here, those 4 lions can attack that gazelle and separate that one. Here's the reality. The devil tries to do that to Christians time and time again, where he tries to get us outside of godly community. I want to challenge you. One of the most important things for you to live out what God has called you to live, and man, there's nothing more important than that, is that you need to be in godly community. You need to surround yourself with godly friends who can uplift you, who can encourage you on this journey, who can help you on this journey. If you want to change and walk into what God has called you to be, you need to be in godly community. The Bible goes as far as to say, do not forsake your assembling together, as is the habit of some, but all the more encourage one another. There's a calling on your life to walk into what God has for you. But one of the only ways you're going to walk into that is in community. God does not support lone rangers. He does not give grace to that, the Bible says. And we need grace to change. God supports us through community. It's humbling at times to be around other people. Sometimes we don't want to. Sometimes we want to distance ourselves. I want to challenge you. Don't miss church services. Not just if at Encounter Church. If you're at another church, go to that church. Be there. When I go on vacation, we go to church, right? Like, there's something about fellowship and community that helps us grow in our faith with God. If you want to change, you've got to surround yourself with people who are going in the same direction as you. We love you guys. Excited for next week. God bless.